Ready for combat.
initiated. Access granted.
Sometimes I get arrested on the road.
What can I get you? Beer? Something else?
What else have you got?
Oh, just an item of interest.
For someone who lives off of their sales, you're unusually reserved.
Well, sometimes it's hard to know who to trust, especially these days. For example, I don't suppose you have any neuropozyne you would be willing to spare, do you?
Sure. Here you go.
Thank you. I can't tell you how much this means.
These are tough times. We all have to do what we can.
You understand? That's... You have no idea how many people just look the other way. But we can't afford to. Not Oggs, and not anyone else. What happens to one happens to all of us.
The neuropozyne isn't even for you, is it?
No, it's not. I'm what you might call a... Well, I think of myself as a Samaritan smuggler. I get things for people in need.
I'm glad I could help.
Listen, I can't let you leave without thanking you properly. I store a few supplies in the basement. The code to the door is 1015. Help yourself to what's down there.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. Like you said, we all need to help each other. Now, is there anything else I can do for you?
Let's see those odds and ends you have for sale. I'll have a beer.
Here you go. Anything else? You can't go wrong with that.
I'm good for now.
As you wish.
Trace program initiated. Access granted. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Milena, you didn't take my advice about giving up on forgery.
I know. But trouble is, I've got a talent for it. And it's a real growth market. As soon as you got me out of that thing with Dragomir, I had like 20 emails from Samizdat. Do you have any idea how difficult it is for art school graduates to find a specialist subject these days?
The permits aren't enough for police anymore, forged or real.
In Prague, maybe. But it turns out I'm multilingual when it comes to falsifying border passes. Lucky, right?
If it works, I'd say lucky.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Super Commando Man.
Oh, don't mention it, Milena.
If there was an easier option, you think we wouldn't take it? I was less stressed out when I was working at gunpoint.
We may not agree on your methods, but I'll let you get back to your work.
Coming from you, that is like the gold star seal of approval.
Welcome to the Underground. I owe you an apology for hacking your infolink.
Don't sweat it. I'm assuming you had a good reason.
Samizdat's usual channels are all bugged. I couldn't risk an audio communication being traced back here.
You're Little K, right? You don't sound local.
I wrote some things that made me have to delocalize a long time ago. Been living story to story on a Schengen visa and a language implant ever since. Never expect a short story from a long-form journalist. You want to know why I brought you here? The police raided Samizdat last night. Cleared us out. We were broadcasting until they pulled the plug. Radios, flyers, mail bursts, the makeshift media van. Getting the message out to our subscribers if they needed a refuge. As you can see, it went a little wider than we anticipated.
What happened to Kay?
Kay is me now, according to the Samizdat Manifesto. It's all very third-wave socialist with a dash of martyr complex.
Good to know. But I mean, what physically happened to him?
Right. His name is Yarek Drobny. He's being held by the police along with Bones. No contact, no bail, no rights, plausible deniability.
He must have known the risks.
Well, he was open to the existence of risks. When you showed up, it should have been a wake-up call, but you were reasonable. The state isn't reasonable.
This isn't what I call laying low. Aren't you afraid the police will find you again, finish what they started?
They already got Kay, Bones, the backup servers, even the shitty coffee machine. Enough for them to call it a win and get back to indiscriminate brutality on the streets.
Where were you when this happened?
Right here, running our little home away from home. Our sources tipped us off about the martial law. Either we could write about it and throw our hands up. Boy, I sure hope this massive rights violation doesn't end up being too awful this time. Or we could enact a readiness plan and really do something.
Yeah, when we first met, I called you pamphleteers. I guess I should apologize.
Oh no, we were pamphleteers. Now we're pamphleteers, jury-rigging an underground railroad.
So are you running a resistance cell here or a campaign room?
Why not both? Now Samizdat has a captive voter base. We could run for the Senate.
It's organized resistance, then.
Peaceful resistance. We're working together to get people under the cordon and out of Prague. It's a happy accident of a police state. Well, I say happy when everyone's repressed, they can see past their prejudices.
Or they shift the blame. It's gonna take a long time for those prejudices to heal.
As long as certain people can profit from keeping the wounds fresh. But you knew that already.
I'm pretty sure you didn't call me to put up posters. What's the deal?
We've made a plan. We're getting people out of the city, starting first thing tomorrow. I want Yarek and Bones to go with them, but first, we need to bust them out of jail. Tonight.
And you think I'm the kind of guy who breaks into police stations?
Are you telling me you're not?
Fine, I'll get them out. They're being held in the temporary police station downtown?
Yes. By the Monument Metro. Once you're clear, take them across the plaza to the Ineda cleaners. We've cached everything they need for a long road trip along the old NATO decommissioning zone.
That's your escape route? Puts getting them past the state police into perspective.
It works on paper. And gives them these new identity documents, a lot of new identities. We found a very good forger. We're keeping her from a bright future in a Pika's newsroom.
I recognize you.
Too many people. We'll have to borrow more trucks. Can we get back into the city trash before the night?
I work for the State Department during the day, and during the night, I try to undo
I
it all
don't
again.
either. That it's highly radioactive.
I recognize you.
I am just talking with little Kay here.
I recognize you.
Oh my god. Okay.
Tell him he's the true hero of the resistance.
Prague is turning into a town of residents. The people behind us are all gone.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
You! I knew it, man! I knew you were one of them all along!
Do I look like I'm one of them?
I can feel my hands right now, but if I could run a search for shadowy extra-government agent on the net, pretty sure it's all you.
Fair point. What happened? You pulled a Freedom of Information speech on the state police?
Ha fucking ha. They didn't wait for a speech, man. Lesson learned. Smash the state before the state smashes your nose.
Little K asked me to get you out.
She's the K now, man. I'm a liability to Sam's dad.
She cares about you, Yarrick. She didn't want to leave you or Bones behind.
Always was a cool cat, man. One of the good ones. She wrote the wheels come off 16 years ago and the conspiracies just keep checking out. Everything except the gray aliens, but who's to say that's not a metaphor?
She wrote the book.
I don't believe in authorial intent.
You told me you were a liability to Sam's dad. How do you figure that?
Because the cops burn me, man. Exposure is death. They didn't have to ask a single question. Just took my DNA off their knuckles. My high school dropout date, my sister's parking tickets, my darknet proxies. Oral cemetery.
Oral cemetery?
They didn't get a lot of mainstream airplay. Anyway, Little K shouldn't have sent you. Sammy's dad has to be bigger than any man or woman.
Sam's dad is bigger than you now, Yarrick. The Resistance reached further than you planned for. You want to fall on your sword, there's a better place to do it than in a holding cell.
Whoa, whoa! You know I use the term liability real broadly.
I warned you about picking a fight with Picus. They've got a lot invested in protecting the message.
Would I be talking to you now if Picus had got to us? I mean, does Eliza Kassan have a sense of humor? All those bombs going off lately. What's one more in the sewers? BTW, those are all rhetorical questions.
You don't say.
But they're trying, man. Bones heard the cops talking about extraordinary rendition. What a wonderful connected world we live in, when they can pin an acronym on you, ARC, NSF, who gives a rat's ass, and ship you off to a black site on the UN's credits.
Just how many states are you an enemy of?
All the corporate ones.
I might have known you wouldn't keep your heads down during the riots.
This is what a radical news source lives for, man. Lives and dies for. But the helmets on the streets, the extreme peacekeeping, that's not about the Golem riots. How are the Augs gonna get over here? Carpool? No. Someone, somewhere wanted the cops to clean house in Prague. And this is just the beginning. What if they could call martial law anywhere, anytime? Cops without borders.
That's your prediction, huh?
You can take it to the bank, man. The Palisade Property Bank.
There's a way out of Prague for you both. The Samizdat resistance has organized everything. We just need to keep our heads down and get to the cleaners nearby.
The cleaners? Huh. Irony. Wait, you mean going through the cops?
There's a police locker in the corner that should be stocked with uniforms. Find something that fits and try to look convincing. We need the cops to think you're one of them. Good. It's time to go.
I'll be right behind you.
I'm very good at taking cover.
Need a stronger lead.
I think we can finesse evacuation plan.
You got any photos for this piece?
Why? I feel like I'm 20.
We should send out confirmed parcels.
Feel like I'm 20. Curfews, people being jailed for no reason. It reminds me of Warsaw 1982.
Warsaw didn't have drones.
Now what? Do you think we are safe here?
You are for now, but you can't risk going back outside. There's a group organizing underground. They're doing everything they can to create a refuge to get people out.
These men, they are part of this group?
That's right. I know how much it meant to you to stay in Prague, Edward, but things aren't going to get any better. If there was ever a time to leave, this is it. If you wait here, Kay's people will come for you. They'll do everything they can to help.
I think I have no choice now. I will wait here. I will cooperate. Thank you for everything you've done.
Good luck, Edward.
Yes! Exit plans, man! Exit plans! Always be making them! We worked this contingency plan out when we started Samizdat. Didn't think it would actually come to this, though.
No one thought it would be like this. You're gonna need these documents where you're going, wherever that is.
I hear Paris is the best place to have a revolutionary agenda these days. If you want to come along, you can be the muscle. Well, whatever your arms are made of, the stuff they use on space shuttles.
No can do. I've got a previous engagement I really can't miss.
Right, with the cardboard box company.
Watch yourself out there, Kay.
Kay? Kay is Kazdi, man. Kay is everyone. You're part of it now.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace probe access granted.
Nothing's more private than my infolink.
I'm not so sure. I've sent a secure vidcall number to your smart home system. Get to your apartment and call me.
Delara, what are you doing here?
Is that going to become our standard conversation starter?
I'm serious, Delara. It's dangerous outside. Non-essential staff should be home. How did you even get...
Ouch. Non-essential.
I just meant...
Work with me, Adam. I was trying for a little levity. Truth is, watching Picus News, hearing that the mobs were getting closer to the city, I was reminded of... Let's just say I thought being 3 stories below ground was better than staying in my apartment. So I called in a favor and got state police to escort me in. Listen, I can tell something big is happening, so I don't want to keep you.
You doing okay, Delara?
Look, Adam, I didn't tell you why I left Lim International. That I was in session with a patient when the incident hit, and that I was...
You were attacked.
Her name was Madeline. She was 13. A really sweet kid. One minute we were talking, laughing actually, about something silly I'd said, and the next she was...
It was a terrible day. For everyone.
After I fought her off, she just stared at me like she was totally aware, you know, but not in control. God, Adam, I could see in her eyes that some part of her was still in there, locked away. And she was terrified.
Delara, I'm sure the girl...
Madeline. Her name was Madeline. You know the part that I'll never forget, though? The thing that keeps just replaying in my mind over and over? Right before she jumped out of my office window, I could swear she was crying.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound insensitive. But you made it through that, Delara. And I think you're stronger for it.
Thanks, Adam. Guess you just think you're over something, you know? And then...
I understand. But regardless of the reason, you took a risk coming back here. These are dangerous times for everyone.
You don't need to worry about me, Adam. I'll be fine. I'll just hunker down in my office until the storm passes. Besides, I hear I have a very comfortable couch.
Just take care of yourself.
I always do.
Too many things to do all at once. Be advised that late night service is delayed due to turbulence.
Do understand we are trying to stop terrorists here. You made it. Hell of a time for a lockdown.
More like convenient, given everything that's happened in this investigation so far.
What does that mean?
They knew I was coming. Marchenko and the gold mask from Dubai. Somebody tipped them off.
Are you accusing me?
I'm not accusing anyone, yet. But 2 ambushes in less than a month? I want to know what's really going on.
So do I. MacCready dug into GARM. Started out as a geological research center, funded by the European Union, until 2025, when it was purchased by a nameless shell company.
You put Chang on it?
That kid scares me. Tracked it back to Bell Tower Associates in under an hour.
I take it no one purchased it when Bell Tower went bankrupt last year.
Wasn't even listed on the asset sheet. So like I said, you stumbled into something big. Care to focus on figuring out what it is? Right after you contacted me, I got on the horn with Lyon. Had them send in a strike team from France. It got there about an hour after you two slipped out.
And the mercs were gone.
Did a pretty good job of trashing the place before bugging out, and left a few booby traps behind. So we have no idea where they went or what they're planning next.
Not necessarily. I heard Marchenko talking to his men. He said something about finalizing a deal with the Diwali.
We need to move on this now. I'll get a search warrant for that old Diwali-owned theater on Tsar Dibi Adlam Street.
You really think we have time for a search warrant?
No, but with the city under lockdown, I can't guarantee you'll make it over to the red light district alive.
I got here, didn't I? Nobody's killed me yet.
All right, fine. I won't stop you. Just be careful out there, Jensen. Let me know what you find.
Copy that.
No, you're wrong. They've gone.
Who's here? Who is this?
It's Daria. From the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. Out of the crossroads. Please, hurry. I need
And we are trying to stop terrorists here.
Hang on.
Can you hear me? You have to come quick. He's here.
Who's here? Who is this?
Daria. From the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. Apartment across from yours. Please, hurry. I need you one thing.
Are you still there? Daria!
Něco jsem zaslechl.
Biotil, painkillers, right over there.
My Interpol friend, it's dangerous for you to be out in the street tonight. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Oh, the killer is still out there. More victims have turned up. All of them Augs, all harvested. Just like Angela Gunn.
So it's the same person doing all this, and we still have no idea who that is.
I'm not sure where all this is going, but I've been looking at old case notes, and it's uncanny. Marek Svobotka, the old harvester, is supposed to be dead, yet this killer seems to... Little habits that were never made public. I even called the cemetery just to make sure Svobodka's still dead.
And?
He's dead.
That doesn't explain what you're doing here.
It's still my case, isn't it? And it's still open. I was hoping that maybe Daria suddenly remembered something. What about you? You know very well that your Interpol ID doesn't mean shit tonight. Hell, I should be arresting you right now.
I don't have time for this. Daria's in trouble and I need to get inside. You do whatever you have to.
All right. I suppose you should check on your friend. I'll take a look around the building. You know, in case. Just try not to get caught.
I won't.
Anomaly detected. Trace program access granted.
Following an extensive investigation. If you ask me, folks, that is some very good news indeed.
Then in the morning we'll go. Excuse me?
I don't know where she is. All I know is...
The whole city is going to fall.
Don't know what's worse, the cops or the...
I'm sure supplies will arrive soon.
Oh, thank God. I knew you'd find me. We must hurry, before he comes back.
Before who comes back? The man who killed Angela Gunn?
Yes. He knows you're after him. He wanted you to come.
So where is he?
He's everywhere. Can you not feel his presence? Are you not scared?
Why did he bring you here? What does he want?
He's using me to get to you. He thinks that by removing your augmentations, he can make you whole again. Quickly, come closer. Help me to get out, and then deal with him. Please, I beg you.
I need to know where he is first. How long ago did he leave here? Which way did he go?
You've got to be joking. We don't have time for all these questions. If he knows I spoke to you, he will kill me. Please, my ankle. Come closer. You must help me escape.
All right, let's hurry up and get you out of here.
The moment I saw you, I knew. Deep down, I think you wanted this. You ignored the facts because you wanted to be saved.
I came here to help you.
You're the one who needs help. Don't you understand that? I can make you human again. I have to make you human again. It's not too late. You need not die, machine. Need to pay more. Oh, how boring. Is it?
It all makes sense now. Lingering by the crime scene, creeping around Daria's apartment. I should have seen it sooner.
This isn't what you think, Montag.
You killed her because she figured out who you really are.
You weren't here. You don't know what really happened. Daria wasn't who we thought she was.
I made the mistake of letting you in on this case, of giving you access to her. No more lies. Are you going to confess to what you are or not?
You're jumping to conclusions again, Montag. You need to believe what I'm telling you about Daria. And you need to let me leave here so we can both continue looking for the answers we need.
Turn that shit off! I've been a cop for 35 years. You don't think I can spot someone trying to pull that social augmentation crap on me? I swear to God, another false move like that and I will shoot you!
Daria lured me here. She wanted to save my soul by removing my augmentations. Just like she saved Angela Gunn and God knows how many others.
Daria Mishka? All this time pretending to be a dead serial killer? Bullshit!
I know it's not easy to believe, but it does start to explain some things. Daria didn't just happen to see Angela's murder. She was there because she killed her. And she wanted me to get involved because she was already targeting her next AUG.
Daria wanted you involved because she didn't like cops, and because she was scared. Apparently, she had every reason to be.
I'm starting to think you might be involved in all of this. You could have been Daria's accomplice all along.
You've got to be joking. I'm not the suspect here.
I'm just following my gut feeling, Montag. How is it you keep happening to be in the right place at the right time? How did you know to come down here?
I followed the evidence.
The same evidence that led you to Daria's apartment at the exact same time she called me? The same evidence that made you so hell-bent on arresting Johnny Gunn and getting me tangled up in your little case?
You have no idea what you're talking about. Either you've gone mad, or you're just trying to confuse me. To keep me from seeing you for what you really are.
I made a mistake. You see how easy it is? I think we're both getting paranoid.
One of us is, but don't worry. We'll have plenty of time to clarify everything. After I arrest you.
Arresting me isn't an option. I'm way out of your jurisdiction, Montag. And you barely even have any evidence.
I have probable cause. You're a valid suspect, and I have every right to bring you in. And there's also the matter of that curfew you broke, remember?
It's not happening.
Then you give me no choice. I'm taking a killer off the streets tonight, one way or another.
Chang, you able to see my coordinates?
Give me a sec. What's this about?
There are two bodies down here. An unconscious woman named Daria. She was involved in those Harvester killings. She needs to be taken in. There's also a dead cop.
Jesus, Jensen! What is it you think I'd do? Cyber crimes, remember?
I'm asking because I trust you. I've got enough to worry about with the curfew.
All right, but do me a favor and get out of there, and don't mention this to anyone, not even me. Chang's got this.
As if the violence could spread
Dodge is the man. He'll set you up.
Adam, good. We need to talk, son.
What's going on, Seraph? Why the secure vidcall number?
I looked into Facility 451. It was a processing clinic, one of dozens set up after the incident to help augmented people recover. It was supposed to be places to heal, but they were run more like prison camps.
And?
And I don't think you got your new AUGs there. You said rescue teams dumped you in that clinic shortly after Panchaea collapsed, but your name doesn't appear on its entry logs. And it doesn't appear on any survivor recovery lists either.
They said I was a John Doe. Nobody knew who I was.
It wouldn't have been hard to find out. Your augmentations have serial numbers. Or at least the ones I had installed into Adam Jensen did.
Are you suggesting all my AUGs are new? Even the ones you gave me?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm telling you, all the AUGs we ever installed had registry codes, and they're not hard to trace.
I know my AUGs, Seraph. It took 2 years for my body to get used to them, to unlock all their potential.
2 years? Really, Adam? One of which you don't remember because you were allegedly in a coma in Alaska. Look, son, all I'm saying is it wouldn't have been hard to identify you, but for some reason, that never happened.
Why are you so sure I didn't get these AUGs in Alaska? Orloff was there. I spoke with him.
You said he was using an alias, McFadden. I looked into it. Casper McFadden didn't exist until the day you regained consciousness, which was 1 month before you escaped the facility.
Okay, so where was Orlov?
Not in Alaska. He was with Tai Young Medical for a while, and in the spring of 2028, his name pops up once or twice in the Baltic region. Then he dropped off the grid, and McFadden shows up.
So what does that prove? Orlov is McFadden, and McFadden is Orlov. None of it connects him to me.
Except for the AUGs which Orlov designed and nobody else knows how to install, let alone make compatible with a competing system.
What are you trying to tell me, Seraph?
I'm sorry, Adam. There's not much more I can say. There's some conclusions you have to make for yourself. All I know is the deeper I dig, the more questions I have. Orlov might have had answers, but as soon as you found out he was in Prague, that he'd been visiting Prague periodically ever since you started working with TF-29's division there, somebody killed him. You tell me what it all means.
I can't. Not yet.
Well, if you ever do find out, give me a call. Until then, take care of yourself, Adam. Be careful.
Thanks for the help, Seraph.
Can't tell who might be out here.
Access granted.
Jensen, you said Marchenko needed to finalize a deal, right?
With the Diwali, yeah. Not a lot to go on, I know.
Maybe not. But these guys are the best smugglers in the world, which means a lot of forged paperwork. You might find something in the Kingpin's office.
Assuming I can find that.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated.
He's going down.
Anomaly detected. Access granted.
quiet on all fronts.
Change any time. Be sharp.
Hey, might have something.
Keep your
No.
eyes open.
But I know. This you work for me. They will pay triple what we agreed. That is good for business. But at what cost?
This is not a fucking discussion!
We can still limit the damage. We do not know what these people have planned for London. It could be...
I decide how the Valley do business, not you.
But it's Orchid. You want to deliver to the Safe Harbor Convention before it even begins.
Do you have shit in your ears as well as between them? Get the fuck out of my office! Now!
Miller, Marchenko is targeting the Safe Harbor Convention in London.
Jesus, there'll be hundreds of people there.
How fast can we move on this?
I'll warn London and get Mac working on a mobilization plan for them. You go home. We'll contact you there.
Alex, they are hitting London. The Diwali agreed to smuggle weapons and the Orchid into Apex Center.
Fuck, man, they want to take out Brown. He's their real target. I've been digging into him.
Get to my apartment. Explain it to me there.
Heard something, boss.
Worthless piece of shit! What are we going to give you? Pay attention.
Who's messing?
Find out.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Get out of my way! I'll handle this! Take it! Nowhere for you to go! Let's deliver us! Start so we can Ours is the man. He'll set you up.
We got it wrong, Adam. Brown's financial prospects aren't as rosy as we thought. He stands to lose trillions if the Human Restoration Act passes.
That doesn't make any sense. Millions of displaced Augs will flock to Rabia.
And the city can't support them. Brown's been selling investors a pumped-up dream. The corporate city-state where like-minded individuals govern themselves while investors reap the profits.
Kinda goes against the idea of a one-world government.
Yeah, and if it fails, so does Brown, the Santo Group, and anyone else standing in the Illuminati's way.
So they want to kill a competing dream and get rid of their augmented problem in one fell swoop. I take it Brown's been campaigning against the act?
And unlike Rucker, he's got the money and influence to stop it.
What about the orchid sample I gave you? Marchenko's smuggling more of it into London. Were you able to analyze it?
That's some pretty sick shit, man. Far as we can tell, it targets a specific protein sequence in the body and deletes it. But without that sequence, the immune system goes into overdrive, attacking and rejecting critical organs within minutes. Rucker's death must have been horrible.
It was. The way it hit him, it looked like his augmentations were being forced out of his body. Like he was experiencing a ramped-up form of rejection syndrome.
The orchid's an Aug killer? How did you survive it?
I suspect it's an everyone killer. But something in my DNA must be resistant to it. My body doesn't reject augments, Alex. I've never needed neuropozyne. Maybe that's the key.
No neuropozyne dependency? Jesus, how's life at the top, man? You gotta be what, 1 in a billion? Still, don't go testing this theory out. You might not be so lucky next time. Darknet posted pictures of Rucker's corpse. If Brown and all his elegant, fancy potential investors get dosed, and Picus News broadcasts images of them, it's gonna send a message.
I'd better warn Miller. You can stay here if you want, till the curfew's lifted.
I can take care of myself. But when the task force hits London, keep me in the loop. Not sure what I can do, but... good luck, Adam. And be safe.
Miller, it's Jensen. Is McCready still working on that plan for London? Because there's another variable to consider.
You can brief him yourself at TF-29's airfield. We're mobilized.
Copy that. How do I get there?
Damn curfew's still in effect. So if you can get to Chicane's place, he'll fly you to it. Miller out.